interest in speaking on this, and that was Kevin Murphy.
Thank you, Chairman Nystrom. Kevin Murphy, 4508 Murphy Road. I'm here representing Hardin Valley Planning Association, French Broad Preservation Association, Northeast Knox Preservation Association, North Shore Corridor Association, and Scenic Knoxville. And I'd like, there's a number of representatives here. I'd like just everybody that's here, please take a quick stand. So these are a lot of the community folks. Awesome. Thank you all for that are involved and are the leaders of these groups. One thing we did as we were having the discussion earlier about all the flooding and the need to do some assessments, we will be happy on the community pages that we run to post those notices up to tell folks to call 311. That's something that we can do, and we're happy to help amplify that message to help out the county and the city in that respect. All of us would like to thank you, all of you, for supporting the need for good planning and recognizing that we do need to update our plans to provide directions for all parties, for our utilities, our schools, transportation organizations, development, and everything. We listened and watched the workshop, and we certainly we all support the idea of amending the resolution that's currently up and asking planning to start working with purchasing to figure out scope and approach of how they'd actually go engage a party to do the updates for the growth policy plan and the general plan. Probably to help this, and sure, maybe tonight's discussion probably be helpful if planning does is allowed to do a little bit of research after they kick off, and then do like an educational workshop for all commissioners and the public, for those that we to get us all on the same page, because there's like vocabulary that's difficult. Understanding what the state law says must be done from both the growth policy plan and the general plan, and then allowing the commission to give some feedback to planning on this is sort of how we'd like to see this process, scope and approach work. That's and there was a lot of confusion last month at the meeting. It's a difficult topic, and I think we'll all benefit if the planning group staff can actually facilitate that workshop for us. I do think, and it is, that was quickly glossed over. The growth policy plan and the general plan are intertwined. There's a lot of information. Maybe it's no longer, legally binding from the growth policy plan, but there's a lot of information that talks about density, and it does specify if there's rural areas there, and that does flow down into the general plan. So I think there is, it's important that planning have the opportunity to figure out the right approach for updating both of those. But the growth policy plan is it's the really big picture. It says urban, planned growth, rural area. That's the big picture thing. The general plan takes that and builds it in another level deeper. And but the growth policy plan, it ties together the cities, schools, transportation, the utilities, all those who aren't necessarily involved in the things that are in the general plan. Finally, we'd encourage you to speak with the planning staff as individuals, as you have things you want them to consider in terms of how the planning process is done. Things like Commissioner Bessler, you had some great ideas about that you want it to be done in small community type plans. That's really effective. That's a great thing. So I think that's something the planning staff needs to hear. In conclusion, thanks for your time on this and for starting to work on updating the plan. My last point says to sit down.
Sorry, that was funny.